To be effective and successful in life, we have to get ourselves to be strong, physiologically and psychologically, physically and mentally. In my previous vlogs, I have outlined certain behaviors and practices which help us get to this in unison. On a physical side, we're talking about physical fitness, we're talking about sleep, we're talking about meditation. And on a psychological side, we're talking about self-control, discipline, and then confidence. Now, having worked those aspects in our life, now here we are opening ourselves to the rest of the world. And when we do that, the only way we can transfer or transmit what we feel, think, a point of view or information happens through a medium which we all term it as communications, or to communicate, to get your point through. Having done everything in life to get yourself stronger, all the aspects, now you are on the threshold to put yourself out there and make sure that people understand what you're saying, or make sure that what you're saying affects people. Now is the critical aspect of your transmitting this information, this persona to the rest of the world. Communication is now a compounded act. It's not just your words. It's not just your actions. It's not just your emotions. It's a mix and match of all this. That is very critical for you to put your point across or share some information. And when you do that, how effective is your communication is a different thing. But to communicate, you need your body, you need your emotions, and you need solid information. The only thing which connects us, a single human being, to the rest of the world is how we communicate, how we speak, what we speak, the body language, and the emotions involved in expressing it. Now, how effective this is, that's a different thing. That involves, are you serious about putting your point across to the people who are in front of you, or are you just trying to put a point across because you feel like it? There are two ways the communications work. One is that you throw out an information and see whatever happens, wherein you're just trying to get things out of your system because you had something in you have to put it out there. The most effective ones are, they follow through that information with the audience, 1%, 100%, or 10 persons. They see their words reach their audience, and then they change the language or change certain examples, lower the tone, or do whatever is right to make sure that whatever they are saying reaches another person. So here, in your one-on-one with a person or audience, is that you are flowing with your information into another person, and your entire focus is to make sure that the other person is getting the point. And it's not the information, or it's not the style. You have to go with what and how they understand this information. Here, you're not trying to be a great orator. You're not trying to impress them with using big words, or you're not trying to make it a theatrical expression so that people like it. Here, you're going to make sure that you are kind of wavering or changing your bandwidth, the pitch, or an action, so that you understand your audience and the information goes right in. And these are the people who are the most effective at putting across their points, putting across information, or engaging truthfully with one and all. Now, this brings us to the first engaging point, and how to communicate. So it has again two aspects to it. What is it that you're wanting to communicate, and to who? This has to be your focus every time you engage in any kind of an interaction. That what is the subject or information you are willing to share or you want to share, and to whom. That defines your emotions, body language, and your concentration and focus on your audience. So, whenever you're trying to communicate something to somebody, your focus is not just information. Your focus is the audience. Always is the audience. If you want to talk to your son, or you want to talk to your parents, or you want to talk to a corporate level to your employees or employer, they are your audience. So you change your pitch, you change your examples, and you change your language. Only with those things and appropriately knowing your audience, you become a very effective communicator. And when you're very effective, you will get your things across. Whatever your belief is, whatever your point of view is, it would reach the end mile. Everything we see, think, or understand is all encoded in us in the form of words. Even the abstract things like a very scenic view or a very tasteful food, you name it, anything, everything is transcribed in us in the form of words. So this makes words very, very important and critical for us. And we have a word for these words, the bank of these words, and that's called vocabulary. The more words, you're better able to describe and understand. Because words are the window which opens us to the rest of the world of expression and even understanding. Now, if you have more words, you understand situations better, you understand everything around you better, you can see better. Words help you see things deeper than what they appear to be. And once you understand them, you can articulate those words and express them in the way that they can be appreciated and better understood. Because every scene, every act, and everything in life has many things in between. And that is how we human beings see everything. The more the words or the bigger your vocabulary, you're able to express and even understand situations and emotions. And once you understand them, you can better articulate and express them to others to know what you want them to know about certain things, or even point of view, or how you feel. If you have less amount of words in your vocabulary, you will find people using their body language. And body language is limited. The sense of evolution of a human mind has not been by body language. That's the primate's work. Our evolution has happened through sense and sensibilities and expression of the sense and sensibilities in the form of words and sentences. Leaders move nations with the help of words and sentences. So these are probably the most critical things we need to build, or important things we need to build. The more the words, the stronger is your imagination. The more the words, these words, like I said, have eyes. They show you more of what you can see. A person who has more vocabulary can see the same thing as a person who has less vocabulary, but take in more information, more understanding, and more knowledge. Build your vocabulary, not with big words or words which you think are amusing. Build your vocabulary with simple words. Try and see, do you hum or hem when you're trying to speak? If you do that, then you lack a certain expression in the form of words. Stammering is a different thing. But when you're talking, you want to express, but you kind of get to a space where you're not able to use a word or an expression. And when you do that, what happens is that either you are not able to convey your message completely, or you're not understood the situation at all, so that you're not able to put words together to make some solid sense of it. You understand the bigger picture or something on those lines, something on a figurative sense, but The actual one, you're not able to. Because anybody who can speak on anything with a proper linear approach towards its subject knows the subject, knows his words. And the person who knows the subject and knows the words is somebody who's pretty solid in his information. People with lesser vocabulary and who use more body language as an expression have more chances of getting into trouble. The evolution of a man happens through his mind, not his body. People who have evolved, or the evolution has taken place through mentality, through intelligence. It does not happen through brute force or strength. We were primates with brute force and strength. We evolved into what we are today absolutely through what? Through intelligence, information, and knowledge, and not through strength or brute force. So if you're using your body a lot, and then your communications are breaking down with people, and you're not able to convince them by speaking, then you have not evolved. You're going back towards the primates. So anybody who uses his physicality to express or impress rather than words, expressions, is one down to a person who is able to communicate to another person without raising his hands. Wars have never been a solution for any situation. Communication has always been the strength of humanity and life. So learn how to communicate. Learn to use your words wisely. Be a wise person. Be a strong person. To be strong, you don't need strength. You need the right words, the right vocabulary, and the right way to communicate. Pen will always remain mightier than sword. I am Raj Khan, and this is my enterprise.